Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 4 of StarPod. Joining me is Lion and Tomu.
Hello.
Yo, what's up, everyone?
My name is Jeff, and we are here to talk today about a lot of things, but the main topic we are focusing on is Destiny 2.
Oh, yeah, Destiny 2. Just a quick update as to why we weren't here last week. I pretty much had just a little minor case of, near death. I got very sick with multiple things all at once. I, shot up out of bed and I was like, I need a hospital.
Hospital. Did they carry an IV for him?
And I got to... So basically the problem was I had a viral infection, sleep apnea, apparently, and also I had a huge tension headache from stress. So I was just a complete fucking mess.
So delayed onset viral apnea of the menstrual kind?
Jesus Christ. It felt awful. I've never been that sick in my life, so that's why we were away last week. So we're going to do an extra special episode here today. We've got lots to talk about. So yeah, let's dive right into it. Who cares? Fucking Lion's sick all the time and gives a
Who gives a damn?
I mean, really, who gives a damn? Alright, first topic we're going to talk about that we missed last week, but we're going to finally talk about it now. The Prestige Nightfall last week was broken.
As fuck.
Yep, it was impossible to do for the first couple days. People found a workaround though that eventually led to them having to basically reset the part of the Nightfall that they were up to. And it was just because one enemy wasn't spawning or something like that.
What?
Yeah. So I was trying to... What do you guys think? Do you think that this sort of thing should already be polished out of the game, or do you think that this is just one of those honest mistakes that game developers go over?
I honestly think it's a mix of both. Because of the fact that we're talking about the Prestige Nightfall, something that is sort of it's supposed to be the midpoint between the Nightfall and the Raid, I guess.
Right,
and
yeah.
Because of its difficulty, likely there wouldn't be a grand amount of extensive beta testing that they could have put into it. And so...
That's a good point.
Yeah, they can polish it and polish it and polish it as much as they want, but likely they wouldn't have expected any sort of bugs on the level of the timer enemies not even showing up at all.
Right. I guess I guess one of the things you could argue about this is that, the new Nightfall system is a lot more complex than it was in Destiny 1, and they're randomized. So I guess this sort of thing, I mean, I'm sure they would have tested it, but when a game actually goes live and there is, hundreds of thousands to millions of players on your server, something's probably going to happen that
also
you
when
do not
a
expect.
feature goes live for the first time.
Exactly, yeah. So, but my biggest problem with this wasn't the fact that it was glitched, right? Because glitches happen in video games all the time. You could even go to a PS1 game and you could find a glitch because it, just back then it could never be fixed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pokemon Crystal.
But yeah, exactly. Pokemon Crystal's a good example. There are so many glitches in that game.
Oh my god.
And that actually comes down to shorter development time, and you could also argue that Destiny 2 had a very short development time. But my biggest issue with this is the fact that Bungie really didn't say anything about it for a few days. They just sort of swept it under the carpet as it looks from the outside, I'm sure that's not what they tried to do. But from the outside, as fans of the game, and we're seeing them, not acknowledge a problem that is stopping everyone's progression in the game, it's a little bit frustrating, and I wish they'd update us a bit more frequently about that sort of stuff.
They can only be so transparent because, I can understand not addressing a bug the moment it happens because sometimes it's just, you don't even know what's going on yourself being the developer because they likely didn't expect this at all because they just let it go live and they probably were just like, alright, that thing's going, let it do its thing.
Or just deciding how best to fix it, perhaps.
Right, that's what I was going to say, is perhaps they were trying to find an answer before they came forward. But even if they just said, "Hey, we're working on a fix," or "Hey, we know it's a thing," even if they just acknowledged it, I feel like it would have went over a lot better. But ultimately, people did find ways to work it out, and that really goes to show the awesome community of Destiny helping each other out. It spread like wildfire, and seems like everyone was able to finish it, which is
It's good.
super lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah. And another topic that we missed last week that is arguably more important, faction rallies hit, and they took off. It was really good. What do you guys think of the new faction rally system?
Well, I didn't hear much about it, so maybe you can give me a quick breakdown.
So basically, the way it is, I actually went and did it myself on the last few days. Basically, the way it works is you spawn in the tower, and you get a quest, and you go speak with Dead Orbit, Future War Cult, and New Monarchy in that order, and they're actually voice acted properly this time around, and they give you their whole incentive, like why they're doing what they're doing and their motivation and a bit of background about them and stuff, which is really interesting. And then basically from that point you can choose which one. And of course, shout out to my FWC brothers out there picking the right choice. I went and chose FWC, obviously, and it was a really fun experience. So the gist of it is basically you basically pledge your allegiance. You get an item, and it's a banner, and you equip that banner. And throughout the whole time you have that equipped, everything you do, and I mean like everything, even killing enemies sometimes, will just give you faction tokens, which you can trade in for faction legendary engrams.
That's amazing.
It's very fun, and it goes into more of that layered content thing I was saying. It just keeps stacking and stacking and stacking, making everything you're already doing about the base game more rewarding, which is really exciting. So there's a bit of controversy about it too. We found out that every single faction, there is a cap of 30 engrams you can get per rally. So, well, it's not a cap per se. It's after you hand in 30, after you get 30 engrams, every single engram after that will be a shader. But not only that, Future War Cult didn't have that cap. You could just keep getting its gear, which further proves that Future War Cult is the superior faction. I'm just saying that right now.
Really bad joke, but could you say they didn't have time to explain why they don't have time to explain?
Oh my fucking god! Are you saying that they warped a time matrix so that we could keep getting infinite loot?
Maybe.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Praetorth called. He wants his loot back. That's a terrible lore joke. I feel. I'll see myself out.
Let's pray to get your body in sorts before you come looking for loot.
So there was a bit of controversy about this, right? So this 30 engram sort of limit per se. People were very concerned because it's like, well, this is bullshit. I can't get, like, what happens if I don't get all the gear in 30 engrams? Come on, people.
It's the first
Next
one.
rally, you can get it. It's the first one. Like, if you got everything, great, congratulations. That's really lucky. And if you didn't, hey, at least you have something to look forward to in the next rally, right?
You've got more reason to play when it comes back around.
Exactly. Now, what I'm hoping they do with this faction rally too is that they keep adding new items to it for the factions. What do you guys think about that?
Bigger drop pool. That would really, really make sense. But one thing I did hear was that Dead Orbit won anyway.
Dead Orbit ended up winning. But we didn't
Edgy
talk about
bastards.
that. Yeah.
Maybe they
fucking-
like black too much. I don't know. They bought all the black
This-
dye.
And did you hear the internet's calling them the space emos?
Crawling in their skin.
Oh,
Crawling
too soon, Chester. Rip in peace.
Oh, Jesus.
Jeez.
Speaking of like Broken Nightfalls and the faction rally and stuff like that, and just like the amount of content that Destiny 2 is getting pretty rapidly. Even so, it seems that people are sort of hitting a wall at the moment, and we had our own little theory about this. But first of all, I'd like to know what your guys' opinion is about this. Like, do you think it is an issue? Because, you know, most people I'm seeing don't actually have 3 characters to 300 light. But they're saying they're at a wall anyway, so I want to get your guys' feedback on this.
It is concerning for me because if some of like the bigger YouTubers are even saying they're getting burnt out from only 100 hours in, like these are the same people who have spent thousands of hours just playing because it was fun, but they've gotten burnt out from only 100. That really does raise a extreme red flag.
Coming from a good lot of games that would leave me burnt out, I know that that is also a problem with me. I have more than 500 games on Steam. If you don't think that's a problem, I don't think you've actually talked to me. But with that, Destiny 2 being added to my repertoire, whether or not I'm actually, you know, playing actively with my group, with my clan, I mean, it's whether or not I have the other games, I still can play this.
So basically, my theory about this, right?
Yeah.
And what I feel Bungie's doing, so they're adding little bits of content, or arguably big chunks of content, depending on how you see it, every week or every couple weeks. And the reason I think that is because they're trying to actually tide us over. They're trying to tide over the console gamers until the PC release, where they can start announcing like the expansion and things like that. So what I was actually talking to you guys about before is like we still haven't seen Iron Banner for a start, and there's also we also saw the leak about the gold engram event. We don't know the details on that, but there's these new gold engrams that you can earn through an event apparently, and we've also got the prestige raid coming, so like the hard mode raid with the modifiers and stuff like that. So that should be interesting too. But that all comes into my point here, saying what I think they're actually doing is, what if they are actually like sort of screwed? They've sort of screwed themselves over with this PC release, because PC will probably have consistent content all the way up until the launch of the expansion, right? Because PC will have to catch up within the exact amount of time that PlayStation did. So that really leaves a lot of people to assume that yes, the expansion for Destiny 2, the Osiris one, is coming in December of this year, which makes a lot of sense given the time period. So there's 2 months between PS4 and PC, and then there's 2 months between the PC launch and
the estimated
Osiris coming out.
The estimated Osiris launch.
Right, exactly. So I feel like, what if this is like it's kind of confusing to say, but what if this is actually a marketing strategy that's making people kind of bored of the console version, and then they see how seamless and interesting and fun the PC version is because they're getting this content at a consistent base, and then bam, expansion like right after it. You know, it's like more consistent and more enjoyable.
Oh yeah, you can have your console version first. That doesn't mean you're gonna get the expansion any sooner, but
enjoy your content drought for 2 months, console plebs.
Oh my goodness gracious.
So we are 20 days. We are less than 3 weeks away from the launch of Destiny 2 on PC. Praise the Lord! We are so close. We're what are we? 2 podcasts after this one away from getting our grubby mitts on the deliciousness that is Destiny 2.
I'm gonna be honest. Fuck podcast that week. We're all going to be playing.
No, the podcast will be the day before it launches. Yeah, so it'll be like a hype podcast. Yeah, man.
Oh, well, why
Absolutely.
not? Why not? You've got a point. But if we
And
were to do it Tuesday, no wait, never mind, fuck it, doing Tuesday, we'd all be inside the game, probably like halfway through the story.
It releases on a Wednesday, doesn't it?
I'm pretty sure
I
it's
I
Tuesday
think
over
I
here in
heard
the States.
releases
The 24th.
Yeah, the 24th.
24th. Oh, yeah,
Yep.
you're right.
So it's
So it's a Tuesday.
technically a recording day, but...
Yeah, well, we'll just have to do it a day early then, won't we?
I think
Get into it.
we don't get it on the midnight of the 23rd, which would be 24th.
It should be just
Right.
like their other releases, like the beta is my assumption. But...
Like 8 a.m.
Yeah.
Sort of time. Yeah, absolutely.
10
I
a.m.
agree.
Eastern... Or, no, sorry. Pacific.
Well,
And
I think
1
they're
p.m.
doing the I think they're doing the rolling release like they did with the consoles.
Really?
Right, yeah, I think they're doing the rolling release per nation, so I think Australia will actually get it.
You guys are you're
Before
gonna
the
get it
US
14 hours ahead of us.
Yeah, so I
Technically.
think what our plan is, me and Ultimos, shout out to Ultimos in our clan, me and him will be actually power leveling during that 14 hours to actually help our buddy Roland, who was on the last episode of the podcast. We're going to be helping him because he's a teacher. He's a full-time teacher.
Oh, goodness.
So he hasn't got much time. Sort of when he gets home, he's very busy with his life and stuff like that. So when he is on, we want to be making the most efficient time possible with him. So we're just gonna help him power level basically and get him his gear and his exotics.
And level
Because
the
he's
clan
part of
up.
the world first raid team,
Oh, yeah.
So
But it also helps the clan. Can't forget that.
exactly. Now, see, that's the thing I'm also wondering, right?
Mm-hmm.
PS4 didn't see the clan system for a week after launch, and we didn't see guided games until, what was it, last week, I believe it was?
Yep, guided games were released at the weekly reset of last week.
I am wondering if this is their way of testing the game's sort of server structure and how it's calculating people's data and things like that. I'm wondering if that's how they're actually analyzing it for the PC version. Like, will PC version launch with guided games and the clan system all ready to go?
Hopefully, I really want that to be in.
Yeah.
So we could probably also assume that the hotfixes that they've already implemented on PS4 will be making their way to PC as well.
Does
So we
that-
should have a much more polished, refined game on our hands when it hits PC.
This is a little bit selfish of me to hoping for, but I'm really hoping that we don't get immediately the ward if coil fix. I would like to be able to run the raid and do a one phase of the bathhouse.
You still can with Merciless, my friend.
Ooh.
So we'll just have to get you a Merciless.
Like,
Oh,
I'm
God.
honestly just gonna be hunting for that. That's gonna be the first thing I do. Screw the story. Going for Merciless.
that Merciless is a beautiful gun. I do not blame you at all. I love that thing.
It's like an effective pocket infinity.
Right? That's exactly how it feels. It's such an awesome gun.
Going into this relatively blind, it's difficult to kind of understand the hype, but I have seen some of the raid videos, so, I'm part of the first world team as well. I get it, but I don't get it.
You need to get educated, good sir, before the raid. So
Yeah.
we touched it a little bit on this last week, but our plans is to actually have meetings with our group and to just go through the exact way we plan on doing the raid as a team and assigning roles to everyone. So that way we can just go in and do it as cleanly as possible our first attempt and really push for that world first as cleanly and as efficiently as possible. So, speaking of hotfixes and the PC version, I wanted to talk to you guys about just the general frequency of these hotfixes that Bungie has been doing. It's been a really good change of pace, I have to say. We went from 2 months of a weapon being broken and things like that to getting a hotfix basically every week with maintenance and only for particular little things. Like, I remember in Destiny, you'd log in some weeks and be
God.
like, what the fuck happened to all my auto rifles? They're suddenly shit. Like, because they would just do a whole board wipe of auto rifles because they could only balance by archetype, which how does the system even like that come to be? I don't understand. What programmer designed that? Like that just it's so dumb.
I mean, I could tell you how, but why? I don't know.
Right, exactly. But who sat down and was like, you know what we really need, guys?
We just
need to piss off our fan base.
We're just gonna make a weapon class, and we're just going to make it be a selectable on our coding for every weapon, so that we can't really change how those weapons work. They run off of our stat sheet.
Oh man. So speaking a little bit on the raid there, I wanted to talk about the Prestige raid coming out. So has anyone here seen the new gear?
I've seen the Warlock set, and I can't say anything without it immediately becoming rated PG-13 or rated R.
I think it's fair to say I busted a nut when I saw the fucking Prestige raid.
You nusted a butt.
I nusted a butt, like just because like. That gear looks so fucking crisp, like just the gold with like the purple like holographic sort of effect.
I can't wait to see shader effects on it.
Yeah.
I know, I was thinking that too. I was wondering if like the hologram will actually change color because I have actually noticed while messing with shaders in the PS4 version, some holograms actually do change color on pieces of gear depending on what shaders you slap on them. So that's really exciting. I can't wait to see.
I want to see if the metallic holds its color. Like if it's gonna stay a metallic but a new color.
Oh my god, could you imagine like all the different colors? Like you could be like a metallic mint or a metallic white or black. Like, oh man, you could do so much with that and it would look fantastic.
Decent.
I actually did see recently someone just uploaded a picture of their Titan in the raid gear and it was just all dyed black. And it just looked so good. It looks so nice. Like you just can't beat a nice simple black look sometimes.
I
mean, what was your favorite shader in Destiny 1, Jeff?
It depends. Like the one I ran for a very long time was the metallic gold on gunmetal gray, I think it was.
Ooh, nice.
It was one of the Iron Banner ones that you get for playing Iron Banner and not ranking up in the monthly vendor.
Right. Speaking of Iron Banner, right? We know that it's coming to Destiny 2 because we already see Lord Saladin in the Crucible menu, right? You got Shaxx on the left and Lord Saladin on the right. It's obvious. And there was that new leak saying that we actually get to go into the city.
Ooh.
And meet Saladin beneath the Traveler. So we actually get to go into the city again, not just part of the campaign.
Right. And
go and talk with him and get the Iron Banner stuff. And I'm just so hyped for that. And I hope they keep up this rhythm of releasing new maps with every time they add one of these sort of like little like freebie expansion things.
Yeah.
And I hope they add an Iron Banner map because how fucking cool would an Iron Banner map be? It would be so cool.
As long as it's not Toilet Gap.
Like... Oh, fucking hell.
Oh, God. I can't even imagine that. You think it'd be all, like, wrecked and stuff or cleaned up?
What if it was something, like, crazy different we couldn't expect? Like, a simulation of the Battle of Six Fronts.
Oh...
Like, could you imagine how cool that would be?
What if it was PvE? What if it was PvPvE?
Oh my god,
dude, yeah, make that happen. Oh my god, just like an open sort of.
That would make Iron Banner truly something special beyond Light Matters.
Yeah, see now that's interesting. I would love them to take PvP in a totally new direction Destiny hasn't been before. Exactly like you say, like. PvEVP would be so perfect for Destiny's formula. But with the balancing being different for each game type now, I wonder how that would work.
I mean,
I guess the enemies would just have to be really strong in that area, right?
actually no. I think the way how it works is weapons are scaled way down for PvP because they go down to like numbers that are supposed to try to
That's
tear off
true.
200. So you would
Yeah.
think
That's
that.
true.
What if we were to just get shielded yellow enemies? Just like one or two just suddenly show up in a dropship and they get full sight lines on everybody.
See, now this is another thing I wanted to talk about that you've sort of reminded me about. There's been the whole controversy of Fortnite copying PUBG. But just imagine how perfect Battle Royale would be in Destiny. Imagine how fucking perfect that would be.
I admit it would be amazing, but the first thing that immediately brings just terror to even the thought is the frame rate.
Well, I mean, at least the thing with the Destiny 2 port here, Jeff, is that it's not a polished turd like PUBG.
Well, my only reason
I love
why
me some
I say
PUBG,
this,
don't get me wrong,
the
but that
only
game
reason-
is optimized like trash.
the
right?
only reason I say this is PUBG. Yeah, no, it's optimized like trash, and Destiny, meanwhile, it's oh my god, the optimization is beautiful.
Potato.
Like no game can really stack up to it. In all honesty,
Yeah, that's true.
is that in Destiny 1 and also Destiny 2, the moment only 4 supers go off near you, you are dropping a lot of frames if they all go off at the same time.
On PS4, though.
Quadruple tether.
Well, no, on
PC
PC, I
PC
did
I
see
feel would
some
be a
frame
lot.
drops when everybody activates super, but it never went below 60.
Depending on
See,
the
I never
computer.
saw frame drops during the whole thing, but I can see where you're coming from. But I feel like a game type like PUBG would really work in Destiny. And now, don't get me wrong, like, I'm not saying put them on a large map with 100 people. That would not work for Destiny. I think what would work for Destiny is like squads of 2, right? Up to like 36 people. Then like, and put them in an already pre-existing open world map,
them in the
like
EDZ.
the
European
like
Dead
the
Zone.
European Dead Zone
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Like, how fucking cool would that be? There's heaps of places to hide. There's secret areas.
Would you spawn
like-
him with your weapons?
Now, that's the thing I would hope you wouldn't. Now,
Limited.
what if they put a twist on it? You start off with a really shitty pistol, and you have to kill the enemies in that area to get any sort of decent loot to actually fight against your enemies.
So make it be basically like the Division survival. You run around and kill
Yeah,
enemies
sort of-
and get like blue and green drops.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. And then there's the whole circle mechanic where it's getting smaller and smaller, and eventually you will bump into players and kill each other, and the last team or man standing wins.
I
you know?
think that killing
I
a
feel like that
player
would be
should
really
give you a
fun.
legendary.
Oh, see, now that would be a really fun mechanic. Players would be hunted down really fast, and there would still be an economy on the enemies
Yep.
as well, like the actual like AI enemies. That would be really interesting. I feel like that would really work. And if I Am Banner was something like that, I think Bungie would make one of the most like popular streamed games. Just like bam, like that. Like Destiny 2 is already doing well on Twitch, but like
I think that would move
like,
even
turn
more
that to
copies.
11. I think it would too. I think it really would.
Yeah.
And it just sounds fun. Like,
Yeah.
I would play that all day. I probably wouldn't even do strikes. I'd probably just be in that all day, like having fun with that.
Because you
Now,
get
would it be
decent-
exclusively like exclusive green, blue, and legendary guns that you can only find in there?
See, now that would be cool. What if it was another thing of layered content? You get the seals in there, and you can trade them to an NPC. You can trade them to Saladin.
Oh, that would
On
be
the
perfect.
outside.
You walk out of there with a
Right?
bunch of seals, and you can purchase the legendary gun that you
You're
picked
like,
up from
"Oh."
a player.
And imagine the stories you would get from people. You'd be like, oh man, I killed like 6 people, and I got like 8 of these fucking tokens I needed to get this gun I've been working for. And like, it would just create stories everyone could tell, you know? Like, oh, like, I found a sparrow and I ran some guy over with it, and he went flying into a wall. Like, you know, just like fun shit like that. You know, like, I think that's what really makes PUBG so exciting and interesting when you play with friends. Is there's anyone who's ever played PUBG ever has a funny story or a story to tell that was really cool or really funny. Just like, I think it would be so interesting for Destiny to follow in that sort of footstep of game type.
You just imagine it now. Clans grouping up, not even giving a single fuck.
Oh, dude, it would be so
No,
fun.
no. But then the guy, I got my super. I jumped straight off the building into the clan 8-man and wiped them all. Like,
Right, yeah, you could do shit like that.
it'd be even
And
better.
because the gunplay and the powers and everything feels so good in
Oh,
Destiny.
yes. Oh, yeah.
Whoa, wait, what if we added a whole nother level to this,
Oh,
right?
God.
You had to level up within the zone and unlock your super
Oh god,
while you were there killing the enemies and stuff.
that would
You would have to
that would
unlock
enable
your
an initial
super.
timer, honestly.
Yeah, rather than just
Exactly,
hunting down
yeah.
players and getting higher multipliers.
Exactly, and you wouldn't be able to boost your super up immediately the second you found enemies. You would have to kill them and get levels and then unlock the super and then charge it. So there would be a lot of risk reward to saving and holding onto your super. and
Or
things
rushing
like that.
and
So-
hunting down players.
Exactly.
Or shutdowns, or different customizations with points that you have earned so far. So let's say you
Right.
finally unlock your subclass super, whatever. You then, depending on how many players, or depending on a bunch of different factors, you could then get certain unlocks, certain points, like Nova Bomb actually follows, or splits into 5, or whatever the hell, right?
Man, I just feel like that would work so well in Destiny. So let's hope for something exciting like that for Iron Banner. I know we're setting the bar very high, but I have faith in Bungie to do something really fun with Iron Banner anyway. So it's going to be great anyway. So moving on, speaking of like PvP and stuff, we did a rebranding recently of our esports team. It was originally going to be called Starlance Lions, but I looked into it and there are a lot of teams with lion representing themselves. So we decided we're going to be called the Stalins Panthers, and I worked very hard on a new logo for us. And it looks fantastic. And we haven't told anyone. We've been keeping it a secret, even from our own clan, until today.
Yep, sorry guys.
It
Stalins
looks
Panthers.
so sick.
It does look sick. I'm very proud of it. It's probably like one of my favorite pieces of artwork I've ever made. So now the whole esports thing, right? So I wanted to talk about, Destiny 2 isn't it's probably not going to have an established esports scene for a little while yet, right? And our clan is growing and growing more every day. So what I thought is going to be the best step for us is actually turning Starlance into a sort of an open clan where we can represent multiple games. And Stalins Panthers is going to be the perfect group for every game that we have.
The bridge, so to speak.
Right, exactly. So we're going to have multiple Discord servers, each specifically designed for a particular game. And within there, you can meet people and practice with them and potentially become a Starlance Panther yourself. And this goes into our website, which we will be launching, I think, early next year, because we had to revise a lot of things. Starlance is actually becoming sort of a business now. And I say that loosely, because nothing's really set in stone yet. But one of the big things we want to do, we want Starlance to actually be a community and a really fun place to come and meet people and enter in low-level tournaments. Like, get involved with your team. Jump in one of our tournaments. We're going to host them professionally. We're going to upload them to our YouTube. And we're going to commentate on all of them. So we'd love that if you come be part of that. And you're more than welcome to join our Discords and speak with us about it. So it's all very exciting, and I thought I'd talk about sort of what games we plan to represent. So I haven't even told you guys about this yet, but here we go. Are you excited, guys?
Oh my god,
Sure.
shaken.
We will be representing Destiny 2, obviously, as soon as that comes out. Starlance will be representing Tekken 7, Overwatch, League of Legends, Dota 2, PUBG, and many more down the line. So it's going to be really exciting. We've got a lot of work to do, but we're confident in making a platform that's going to be really fun to get involved in. And you can jump in, get entry into a tournament and represent you and even just you and your friends. Just to jump in and join and represent yourselves and show off your skill to everyone. So I'm really excited.
Awesome.
Are we gonna have like a sort of like an overview Discord, which will be like sort of where everybody from every Discord can hang out?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, because organization will be the biggest hurdle we face, besides actually like paperwork, getting a suit and looking nice. I mean, if you're part of a business, obviously you gotta look nice. Duh.
Yeah, so
Let's just get haircuts and hold off on the suits.
Have you seen my hair?
the big thing is I will be moving to the States next year.
Ooh.
So shout out to my good friend Brandon, also known as Frost Golem in the Discord. He has agreed to help me get to the States. I'll be going to visit for 3 months in April next year, which is just huge. It's massive for me. So that's very exciting. We're going to be talking business stuff while I'm there, and I'm also going to be meeting you guys in person. We've known each other 7 years, and we haven't met. So that's got to happen.
I know what you look like. I don't know what your boyfriend looks like.
Ooh.
But yeah, no. I'm super excited for us to hang out.
Yeah.
I'll show you what little Vermont has to offer. And how Vermont only honestly enables breeding of gamers of the extreme kind.
It's a breeding ground for the elite.
I mean, you got fucking nothing to do, so you end up spending hundreds of thousands of hours wasting your life away on a screen.
Oh, nothing you'd know about, though, right, Jeff?
Oh, no.
No. Certainly not, no. That would be a lie.
A straight,
Oh,
bold-faced lie.
It's not like Tomu has met, like, beyond a handful of gamers when he lived with me.
Well, they did have D&D in their house, like, every Friday.
Oh,
no,
boy.
Saturday.
Yep. And
It
somebody
was,
had to
D&D.
cook every time.
I made my potatoes. I could make those for Lion.
Hell yeah! I want some Tomu potatoes.
Tobu, how are you gonna get out here?
I'm probably gonna
He's
canoe.
You're gonna canoe
Force of
across
will.
the ocean down to the fucking...
Hey, dude, I got
Yo,
Columbus
what's
this
that
shit. I gotta
peninsula?
get creative.
That's awesome.
But nah, I'm probably
You
just
could
gonna
just take
plan
another
out there.
train out, Tomu.
No, I'd probably go by plane. Fuck that shit. I mean, I'll be
Yeah.
honest. The only reason I took a train last time was because I had so many bags, and because I didn't know where the closest airport was, and because I had already been flown from here to Newark. But that's an entirely other story. You know, that was messy. But I met a bunch
All I'm
of
gonna
cool
say is
people.
that you took a train because of your packages, but your computer still received critical injuries while on the train.
Oh,
No, dude,
jeez.
it was
That's
it was
awful.
already like defective.
Half a foot in the grave.
I put it into a felt luggage container and cushioned it with blankets. My motherboard, the GPU had its own box. I respected that shit. But everything else, no, you're on your own.
Jeez.
Jesus, man, that's rough. Anyway, I just wanted to also plug before we end today's episode. I'm actually starting a second podcast here called Retro Memento, which I hope you guys will tune into. It's going to be bi-weekly, and it's going to be all about the 90s, and it's going to be a topic every single week about the 90s. And talking about our favorite games and what we love to do as we grew up. So I think it's going to be really interesting for any millennials out there who are interested in sort of reminiscing about the old days. So I'd very much like you to come and check that out. That'll be here on the Starlance channel as well.
Do we have
So,
any info
if
as
you
to
haven't
who's
already-
on it?
That's a surprise. You shall find out.
No, but
But I will say the fabulous Roland will be on them on the episodes.
Oh,
So
is
that's
this
very
that little
exciting.
secret project I've been hearing
Ooh.
about?
Perhaps, maybe. Yeah, it's going to be super fun. So if you haven't already, please subscribe down below, guys. There's going to be heaps of Starlance content coming out soon. up your eyeballs in Starlance. You'll get sick of us.
I've gotta pull the generic YouTuber comment. Smash that like button.
Oh my
my
god.
fucking god. Just go. Alright.
Remember to click to subscribe and then the bell. Also,
Oh, god.
nobody can remember the 90s except the 90s kid, so never forget.
That's
We're
it.
your source, right here.
Alright, guys, thank you so much for watching this awful episode of StarPod. We'll see you all next week for another exciting episode where we round up more useless information. Bye-bye!
Bye-bye.
See ya. Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode of.
I even stopped
Oh
myself
my
from
god.
laughing.
Oh
Now
my
that I was
God.
doing so good, and I've already fucked it all out.